What is up? Welcome to Every Single Guitars, where my goal is to review every single guitar ever made, or at least that is my goal. Today I have a Gibson Les Paul. I'm just kidding. Today I have a Yamaha guitar. This is a 1981 or 82 Yamaha FG-345ii or II 345ii. At first I thought that this guitar was actually made in Japan. When I looked inside the sound hole, it says made in Taiwan, Republic of China. So I guess it's not made in Japan. I bought this guitar actually at a pawn shop in San Francisco. I don't really go to pawn shops. I actually don't go at all. I was just happening to walk by and I saw a store and it happened to be a pawn shop. And I was like, you know what, let me just check this place out. I went in, there were no instruments, but there was just this guitar just in the corner. It wasn't even on display, it was just like tucked into the corner. And I asked him like, yo, how much is this guitar? And he gave me a price for it, and I did some haggling, some negotiation, and I got a pretty good deal for this guitar, with no case though. It sounded good, the quality was good, and I've actually owned this guitar in the past. The same model, I owned it in high school, so I say like 7 years ago. You know, I had a good experience with the guitar, so I decided to buy it again and give it a proper review. In the past, when I owned this guitar and when I bought it right now again, is the main reason was because of, you know, it just looks kind of fancy, you know, for a Yamaha. You know, I'm really big into these inlay designs. I like how different guitar companies, different guitar brands have their own unique inlay styles, these pearl inlay styles. This one's a unique style. It's like a kind of like a diamond style inlay. You know, Gibson Les Paul Custom has like the block inlays, like the PRS inlays are like the birds. You know, the classic Fender is like the dot, but this, they did a different approach, and I think it's because, you know, they were making so many, all these Asian companies back in the day were just copying a lot of US manufacturers, so they were just like, you know what, let's make it somewhat unique. Let's change up the inlay design into these diamond shaped ones. But you know, the inlays have nothing to do with how the guitar sounds, you know, it's just purely from an aesthetics point, but it just looks cool. It just kind of gives it a more luxurious feel to a relatively affordable and cheap guitar. I haven't owned too many Yamaha guitars in the past, but just from experience, Yamaha is just a good company. They make solid guitars, just solid products. You know, the things that they make, the products that they make are just so diversified. When people think of Yamaha, it's like Yamaha pianos, guitars, instruments, but they also make motorcycles, they also make tuning devices. Dude, they're a pretty diverse company. They also make amps. One of the amps I have is a vintage 1980s Yamaha amp. I think it's called the JX40, and I got it for like 250 bucks, and it sounds hella good. It's not even a tube amp, but it sounds incredible. From personal experience, all the Yamaha products I've bought have been of good quality, so I knew that I wouldn't be disappointed if I got this one. So right off the bat, for an 80s and early 80s guitar, the guitar has some wear. You know, there's some dings, some superficial scratches, some marks, but nothing that really affects the stability of the guitar. The neck is still very solid, the headstock is solid, and the guitar overall is just very solid. It's a very firm guitar. I don't get the sense that it's gonna break or it's gonna need some repairs, which is typically the case for older guitars, typically for older acoustics. But for this specific guitar, it's in great condition. I'm sure that everything in this guitar is all original. The tuners seem original Yamaha tuners. The bridge pins look original. The bridge looks original as well. Barely any fretwear. It's just, the main thing about this guitar is just the surface wear, the surface dings and minor marks from playing over the years, but nothing that affects the guitar itself. Let's check out the tone. action is a little bit high. I prefer a little bit higher action. This is actually the type of action that I like, but the strings are on the thicker side, so it's kind of hard to play. But tone-wise, it sounds good. It sounds like a good quality acoustic guitar. I'm not really too sure what the wood is, but just from looking at it, it seems like a laminate. You know, sometimes laminate guitars get a lot of flack from like the guitar purist community. They're like, oh, laminate sounds worse, it sounds inferior. But from all the laminates that I've played, I've never played a laminate guitar that I was just like, yo, this sucks, this is terrible. You know, obviously if a guitar is solid wood, real wood, it should sound better because it's real, you know? But I don't get the hate for all the laminate style guitars because it sounds good. And I highly doubt that on a blind test that people could truly tell like if this is a laminate or if this is real wood, unless you're like a fucking, you know, like musical savant with perfect pitch, which I highly doubt is the case for a lot of you guys. Just from a guitar standpoint and how the guitar sounds, this FG-345ii sounds pretty good. I don't know why this was in a pawn shop though. I feel like the owner was trying to get rid of it because he gave me a really good deal. I mean, I did some haggling as well, so that may have been part of the reason, but regardless, it was a pretty fucking good deal. You know, if you see this guitar on the market, a FG-345ii or 2, it's like the Roman numerals, like II, I say get it. If you can find one for under 300 in decent condition, I think it's a good deal. It's a good solid guitar. You can also include add a pickup, aftermarket pickup, like a K&K Mini, and I think with that it sounds even better. Made in Taiwan, Republic of China, Yamaha FG-345ii or II. I think this was made in 1981 to 1985. Overall, very solid. I give this a 7.5 for this price range and for the quality of what you get for the price you pay. I'd say it's a very good guitar.